Jenkins, interviewed in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Interviewed by Ida Bell Hunter. Age when interviewed, 93. I was born in Greene County, Alabama in January 1844. My mother was a white woman, and her name was Jane Jenkins. My father was a nigger. He was a coachman on my master's place. I was told this in 1880 by the white doctor, Elias Smith, which brought me into this world. My master, who was my grandfather, brought me to Texas when I was just 7 or 8 years old. A few years later, he brought my mother down to Texas, and she had with her 3 boys, which was her childrens and my brothers. They was white childrens and named Jones. Their first names was Tom, Joe, and Elijah. They parted from me, and I never heard no more about them. I didn't even know my mother when I seen her all my life. I done just knowed my white kinfolks and nothing at all about the other part of my color. Before I was born, my mother was taken away from her playmates and kept in the attic hid. They took me soon as I was born from her. When her time to be in bed was up, she'd ask the waitman where I was at. The waitman was Dr. Elias Smith. He'd tell her I was at Ann's house. I never got a chance to nurse my mother. After she got up and come down, she wanted to see her baby. Now she goes to Ann's house and couldn't find me. After she couldn't find me there, she looked in all the houses on the place for me, her baby. Then she commenced screaming, tearing her clothes off and tearing her hair out. They sent her to the calaboose till they could get some clothes to put on. She went distracted. She tore out towards town. The way they got her to hush, they told her I was with my grandma. They had me hid on the road to Texas. The doctor's wife said I was the first nigger she shed a tear over. It was a destruction thing. Well, that scandalized the family, and they moved to Texas and come by and got me and took me to Texas. When they crossed the town, Bigby River in Alabama, 3 miles wide, on boat, this woman that had me in hand was just churning me up and down in the river. They hollered at her, and I says, that's where God took me in his bosom. When I was 7 or 8 years old, the white folks took me in charge. They was gonna make me a watchman to watch for them at night. But when they begun this, I wasn't old enough to remember. The first house I was sent to was the cook's house. The cook said, what you come down here for? I told her I didn't know. Who sent you? I said, old Master Jenkins. She knowed immediately what I was sent for. Don't you see? She says to me, sit down, little rascal, with her fists drawn back. I'll knock you in the head. Well, what could I do but sit childlike? Before long, I was asleep, and they took me outdoors next morning. I was told to go to the big house. Old master asked me, what you see last night? I told him I didn't see nothing. Now they got the cowhide and hit me 3 or 4 licks and asked that same question again. I told them I didn't need nothing. This went on for about an hour. I had to take a whipping every morning because I had to go to every house and never seen nothing. The last house I went to, well, in the morning, as I was going back to the big house, a voice came to me and said, see nothing, tell nothing. It meant for me not to lie. and on and on as I growed for years to come. I was big enough to plow corn. I was out in the field, and a voice, that same voice too, said, if and I was you, I'd leave this place, 'cause you will come to want and won't have. All this was the causing of my conversion. My first job was scoring floors, and I mean I scored them too. Next, I scored knives and forks. From that job, I went to real work and no play. My master and his family just lived in a log house. My mistress was my grandfather's wife and my grandmother, but I couldn't claim her. Her and her oldest child treated me some rough. I never had no good time till that old white woman died. And talking about somebody glad she died, I sure was. They took turns treating me badly. There was about 20 slaves on our place, chillins and all. Dewan, which was my uncle, was the overseer. He waked us up just before sunrise, and we worked from sun to sun. I seen him tie niggers' hands and a foot to mill posts and whip 'em with bullwhips. Them was neighbors though, not ours. They whipped the women by pulling their dresses down to their hips and beat 'em till they was satisfied. For myself, my grandfather whipped me till his dog took pity on me and tried to drag me away. This is the scar on my leg where he pulled on me. He was beating me till I said, "Oh, pray, master." I seen him sell people what wasn't able to work from the block, just like cattle. They would be chained together. They took mothers from children's, even just a week old, and sell them. They stripped the slaves, women, and all, and let the bidders look at them to see if and they was scarred before they would buy them. Them old white folks wouldn't learn us to read and write and wouldn't let they youngins learn us. My youngest mistress, which was my auntie, mind you, was trying to learn me to read and write and was caught, and she got some whipping, almost a killing. I never seen but one nigger man hung. He was crippled and had run away. I seen this with my own eyes. No guesswork. He had caught a little white girl, schoolgirl too, ravished her and cut her tongue off. Oh, that was barbarous. He ought to be burnt. He didn't get his just due at hanging. Patty rollers were sure through the country. They was out to keep down nigger and white mixing and to keep niggers from having liberty to go out, especially at night. They didn't allow you to come to see a gal unless she was 18 and you was 21. The cause of this was to raise good stock. The gals couldn't marry till they was 18 neither, but they could have chillins. You had to have a pass to see your gal. Even now, you got your pass from your master. If you was under 15, you could go play and didn't need no pass. But all over 15 just had to have a pass. They would go right to bed after they ate. No Saturday off, just wash day off. Some Sundays old mistress let us have sugar, flour, and lard, but just some Sundays, no other day though. We was in a great game country and sure ate our fill of coons, possums, rabbits, deer, turkey, and the such and things people wouldn't notice now. Cornbread and sweet potatoes was my favorite foods. Milk and butter was best eating. We just wore what you call slips and just two sleeves slipped over our head No buttons. We wore the same thing in winter, just heavier. Never wore no shoes till I was old enough to chop cotton. At weddings, they wore stripes all the time. They made 'em on hand looms. They was mostly white and red stripes. We played marbles and ring plays. We used to sing this ditty during playing. So many pretty gals, so they say. So many pretty gals, so they say. Just peep through the window, Susie gal. We used onions to keep off consumption. There was a family taken by the black disease, and they all died but one, and he was ready to die. They took him out to burn the house up to keep that disease from spreading. They put the nigger in a house full of onions, and he sure enough got well. The doctor said the onions have cured him. We believed in our onions and do till today. Even the next morning after he was put in the house and could work, he asked for some milk. That war that freed the niggers started in 1861. I had 2 young masters to go. It lasted 4 years. They was figuring on taking me that very next year, and it was so fixed that the war ended. We had a big drought during the war, which made it bad on the soldiers. I never seen the Yankees, only when they was passing along the road. One day while we was eating our dinner, our master said, all you all young and old, when you get through, come out on the gallery. We call them porches now. I got something to tell you. When we got through, we all trooped out, and he said, this is military law, but I am forced to tell you. He says, this law says free the nigger. So now you is just as free as me by this law. I can't make you all stay with me unless you want to. Therefore you can go any place you want to. That was about laying by drop time in June. It was on June 19th, and we still celebrate that day in Texas. That is Nigger Day down there. He said, I'd like for you to stay till the crops is laid by. If it hadn't been for his wife, maybe we would have stayed on, but she just kept bossing the nigger women, and we just didn't like it. And that's what brought on the scatter. I left my old master and went with one of my young masters, which was my uncle. I was sure once tickled at my young master. I done broke in a mule for him, and he got on him one night to join the Ku Klux band. He had to go about 4 miles. He got just about 1 mile, and they come to 2 trees with a real white stone in between the trees. The mule seen this and throw my master off and hurt him something terrible. He come back and told his wife what done happened. He said, dang the Ku Klux, he never went to join them no more. I never went to school in my life, never had the opportunity, cause I never had no kinfolks who owned me, give me advice or help me. White kinfolks just bossed me. I was just like an orphan. White folks will mess you up and be so treacherous. I married Jane Deckers. The white man just read out of the Bible and put our names and ages in the Bible, and that was all the ceremony we had. I got 3 children and 4 grandchildren. One do stone work, another brickwork, and my daughter housework. I think Abe Lincoln was next to Jesus Christ, the best human man ever lived. He died helping poor nigger man, old Jeff Davis Wright, in his place. He was trying to help his race. He wasn't nothing like right. It was God's plan that every man be free. I don't believe Davis believed in right. I am sure glad slavery is over. I glory in it. I trust and pray it'll never be again. I think the church is the gospel way and everybody ought to be in it. The Baptist is my dear belief, 'cause I was baptized by the Spirit and then by the water, nothing but the Baptist. I belong to the Shiloh Baptist Church right here on the west side.